Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Kathleen Jasper, and today we're talking about the open or constructed response. This is the part of the exam where a lot of people stumble, so I really want you to hear this. You've done all this work learning the terminology, the best practices, the progression of reading skills, and then when it's time to write, people panic and drop all of it. Don't do that. The open response is where you bring everything you learned with you and actually use it. On this exam, constructed responses usually fall into a few predictable categories. You'll either be asked about foundational reading skills, like phonemic awareness, phonological awareness, phonics, or fluency, or about comprehension, which is more meaning based and higher level. Sometimes you'll see a combination of both. Most exams include three constructed responses, often with at least one focused on foundational skills and one on comprehension, so you need to be ready for both. Now, even though the testing platform might look different, Pearson, ETS, whatever, the skill never changes. And this part is key. Work backwards from the task. Do not start by reading the entire scenario. That's where people overwhelm themselves. They read a long paragraph, panic, think they don't understand it, then jump to the task, then back to the scenario, and it becomes a mess. Instead, start with the task. The task usually gives you 2 or 3 bullets, sometimes more, and those bullets are literally telling you what to do. For example, you might be asked to identify the reading skill interfering with comprehension, explain how it affects comprehension, recommend a research based strategy, explain why it works, and describe how progress would be monitored. That's your roadmap. I like to group those bullets into paragraphs. Paragraph 1, identify the skill and explain how it affects comprehension. Paragraph 2, your instructional strategy and why it works. Paragraph 3, progress monitoring. When you organize it that way, the response almost writes itself. Now you go back to the scenario knowing exactly what you're looking for. Let's say the student Jordan is reading 82 words per minute when the expectation is 120. He's reading slowly and choppily, pausing and rereading, but he's not making many decoding errors. That tells us phonics isn't the issue. The issue is fluency, specifically automaticity. Jordan is using all of his cognitive energy just to read the words, which leaves nothing left for deeper comprehension. That makes fluency the smart and defensible choice. And once you identify the skill, the strategy becomes easy. Repeated reading is a go-to for fluency. Modeling is another strong research-based strategy. And honestly, if you ever blank on a strategy, go with modeling. It works for phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, everything. With repeated reading, the student rereads a short passage multiple times with teacher support and feedback. The teacher models fluent reading first, then the student practices. As fluency improves, cognitive demand decreases, and comprehension improves naturally. Finally, progress monitoring. This is where people overthink it. Formative assessment is your friend. Observation is formative assessment. Listening to a student read is formative assessment. Tracking words correct per minute over time is formative assessment. You can talk about monitoring fluency regularly using grade level passages, tracking accuracy and expression, and reassessing comprehension. Use those professional terms, formative assessment, progress monitoring, data-driven instruction, because they show content knowledge. And that's it. Identify the skill, explain the impact, recommend one solid research-based strategy, explain why it works, describe how you'd monitor progress, keep it simple, use the language you've learned, work backwards from the task. When you do that, the open response becomes very manageable. And yes, you can absolutely earn full credit. And before you go, make sure to check out my resources at kathleenjasper.com for in-depth resources and support. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more test-taking strategies and free resources. I'll talk to you next time.